Am I visible? Am I visible? Am I audible? Kindly comment it. Okay, let's wait for a few more viewers, then we will start. Meanwhile, you can also share the live link to your friends or anyone you like, try to recommend. It will be very beneficial. Well, hello everyone. In this live session for how you can start your career or how you can develop your skills for the game development. You already know that we all love to play games. You also love to play games like PUBG, Call of Duty, Counter Strike. There are many games like that. So you may love to play games, but there must be some process in making those games. Mm. So today in this session, I'll gonna explain you how this industry works, how people get in this industry, gaming industry. which software to use, how you can proceed with your passion or career. I'm gonna teach you everything. I'm gonna explain you everything. Okay, so let's wait for a few more minutes for let's wait uh, let's wait for a few more minutes. Okay, meanwhile we wait. I should show you my projects. Okay, let me open. Is the screen visible? Okay, screen is visible. Mm, uh, wait for a few more minutes. In between those time, I should tell you who am I? Or first of all, my name is Aditya Prakash. I am just a college graduate, and I've started developing mobile games and PC console games for last. I was developing for last 3 years, or I should say 4 years. And during these during the last 4 years, I have learned many things from industry standard, from developer standard, from everything. So before that, let me show you some projects I've been making. Uh, this. I've also published some of the games on Play Store, and there is one another I will be publishing on Steam in the upcoming years. Okay, so let's. Uh, you all should share this link, this live link to your friends. It will uh, it will help us in our reach. And meanwhile, you should also subscribe and like this video. That will also help us. Okay. Uh, okay. The project is still loading. It's a very huge project. It's almost size of 3 GBs. That's why it's taking a lot of time to load. Uh, and okay, I was telling you about myself. So back in those days, I've done BTech engineering from IT department, and I've never been in a game development course or any whatever Maya, Mac or Arena Animation these institution teaches you. I have never been in that institution. Other than that, I have watched a lot of YouTube videos. I have a lot of Udemy tutorials, and that helps me in building this. And also, yeah, I, I've, uh, I would love to thank College Baba for giving me this platform to showcase this live session or showcase whatever I know. Okay. Uh, तो हेलो पद्मा भारद्वाज सर सीओडी जैसा गेम बनाना है well you can make a game like COD but you can't make it alone you make it alone but you may take a lot of time and then it's like 2 to 3 years for making a game that bug free that stable it will really tough job to make a game not very tough but it's still okay and mm, Who is this best superheroes? And hello, sir. Ludo King ka hack chahiye. Well, I'm not here to teach you how to hack a game. I'm here to teach more like how to make your own game. You can make your own Ludo King. Yes, yes, I will explain the basics requirement and the career part for gaming industry. Uh, is my screen visible? This is just a basic. This is a first of all, this is a Unity 3D. This is a game engine. I will tell you what is a game engine is, and more things. Okay, so let me show you a demo because I'm also streaming this from the same PC and I'm also opening my project from the same PC. That's why it's this game opening is taking some time. So Blender better or Maya? Well, and they both have different, though they both have different path. Blender is more like for hobbyist, and Maya is the industry level software. So generally, the industry will prefer Maya. But if you want to just make it for yourself as a hobbyist, Blender is the best because it's free. Maya is almost 80,000 rupees for an year. Uh, you can see this is the game I was creating. I was just creating this in for last 2 months, and you can see this. This is just I was creating this just for a hobby and something like this. Or this. Okay, this is the game I was. Uh, so this is a 3D game where I was doing some where mechanics, the sound designing, the level design, and yeah, I got one. My friend Anupul Prime, he's helping me in developing the 3D models. I am creating the backend part, the programming part, the mechanics, how it's work, how the animation will play, how the sword and how the bow and arrow will be used. I create those things. Okay, so mm, Mira Jangir, do we need to have the art of drawing to become a designer? Well, the word game designer is very specific. Game designer doesn't create art. It's game artist who creates art. First of all, the game designer is just for creating the concept, the ideas that how a game should look, how a game should feel. They're just the pre-production part of a game designing. Okay, since okay, I'm an cool friend. Better for you. Uh, hmm. Okay, let me open the. Uh, okay, my session will be divided into the two parts. The first part will be cover most likely why you should choose this career. Is this career good for you? What are the different roles in the companies and these kind of things. The second part will be more than like technical part, where the questions like what is a game engine, which programming language you should choose, what is the steps to make the game. Second part will be cover all these steps. Uh, okay, so you should share this link of this video to your friends. As I don't see a very large crowd up here. That will be a very. I would love to if you share the link. Hmm. Okay, Sergey, where you see the Indian gaming industry in the next 10 years? Okay, that is one of a very good question because Indian gaming industry is at a point where it can be ravaged, it can be nothing, or it can be at boom, the level of the Japanese or American gaming company. Because there are a lot of new developers, new Indian developers, which are popping up in this. And another question is Python good for game development? There is a library in Python called PyGames, which is actually good for making games, but generally there is a thing called gaming engine, which will like work like a software development environment. That will be more beneficial for making a game when compared to making it from scratch, like Python. Hmm. Okay, so I think I should start now because of. Okay, where is the. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, games, a very technical and very difficult thing, but very enjoyable and a in, very enjoyable things too. Playing game is very easy. I mean, you love playing games. People generally love playing games, but is making the process of making game is as easy as it is? Oh, so let's find out. Hmm. First of all, I'm introducing you to what is an actual game development is. It is simply a process. I would say that game development is not very easy as software or web development. You have learned that web development or software development. Game development is not that easy because the main reason of that is development involves multiple stages. You have to create the sound, you have to create the graphics, you have to create the back-end programming, you have to create the UI UX programming, you have to create the UI. So everything requires a big team, a very big team. So generally game development is a lot bigger than software development or web development. Okay. And so game development is the art of creating games, its design, development, its release. It involves many, as I just told you, it involves many concept of level generation, designing, testing, building, alpha release, gold release, many things. And it's also important. It's a very multi-layered software development. It's just like software development, but it's more like multi-layered. And then comes two type of game developers. First one is the indie developer. You have heard from some games like Bright Memory or No Man's Sky or Minecraft. These are developed by the indie developers, the one person or a small team like 2 to 3 people, which created a very huge game. But it's very difficult to generally create a very big game with a very small team. And there's comes in AAA titles you have known companies like EA, Xbox Studios, Ubisoft, 2K, and Rockstar. These companies are on the other hand, these companies are more like a team of 200 or 300 people with a budget of budget in crores and crores. So it's also different than that. Hmm. Is this career good for you, or why you should choose this career? First of all, you are already witnessing the pandemic right now. The pandemic is more like every other media industry, like a song or movie industry or TV series industry, is not that profitable. But there is one industry that is absolutely nailing it. That is the gaming industry because everyone is at home playing games of one form or another. Yeah, some have PC, some have console, some even playing games to on phone. The phone gaming is also in trend right now. So this industry is something which is booming a lot these days. Mm, and also, this industry, the gaming industry, requires the best programmer out there in the world. That's why the salary of the programmer is also high, very high when compared to the other. For a normal software development company, for a very average student, if you're an average student and if you are in a software development company in India, you may earn around 30 to 40,000 rupees. But if you are a game development programmer in India and a very good average game development programmer, you may earn up to 60, 70, 80,000 rupees as a average developer. The pro developers or very, experienced developer may earn up to more than 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. Okay, and the other thing, like movies, games, every year almost 25,000 new game releases on Steam. That is a lot of games. So this amount of games required a lot of workforce to build. That's why this industry requires a lot of programmers and developers. For an example, the Microsoft Office. You have known Microsoft Office. The Microsoft Office, the Microsoft Office developed it in Windows. Microsoft developed that Office in almost 1995 or 4. Since that to present, there has not been a very a very difference in that. The core functionality is the same. Only the visual overhaul has been changed, and some functionalities add on daily, add on every year. But a game industry from suppose taking the game from 1990s to till now, there has been more than 50 million games released till now. That is a lot of number. That is a very huge number too. But that's why this industry is so demanding, and there is a very especially in India, there is a very less crowd for game development. Uh, There are studios in India who do outsources for big companies. Yes, that is correct because India, there is no investor, that seed investor in India who actually invest to build a game like GTA or Counter Strike. There, people in India don't tend to take that risk because India is not a very balanced game developing culture, but it may change. It may change in the future. Let's hope it changes. Okay. Now the core gaming company, the core rules of the gaming company. These are the four pillars of a game development company. Okay, first I will try to explain this game development process in short. How a game is actually made in a game development company. Listen, the game designer first conceptualizes the idea of the game, that how it should look. It's just prototyping the game, prototyping the visuals and mechanics of the game. Then, uh, then that person documented this idea of how the game will work or look, and give that documentation to both a game artist and the game programmer. The game artist then create the art based on those visuals, create the animations, art, UX, UI, and these things. Meanwhile, the game developer, or I should say game programmer, create the codes and mechanics for these, how the game will work, how will the game function of this game, and everything. At last, the work from the both department is combined to in a final build, which we generally called as the alpha build. Now, this alpha build will pass on to the tester. Now, you may may have heard that the tester work is very easy just to play games and finding the bugs, but it actually not. The tester's work is to find the critical bugs, glitches, or if something which is not likable in the game, or the game mechanics is not that smooth, or it's not very punchy. The game is not punchy. The game tester is test that and give the report back to the game designer and programmer to alter it, or it's called iteration. The whole process is called iteration. So this for this slide, I just explained the work of this four sectors. Now come to other development roles. Game development, the whole process of game development doesn't actually supports on four pillars. It actually have a lot of roles like game animators, game writers, level designers, audio engineers, creative directors, and game producers. From the name, it's actually clear that what's each purpose is. The game animator is for animation, creating the animation. The game writer is for the writing the cutscene, the storyline, and everything. Audio engineer is like the audio creator, the one who creates the sound, like music, sound effects. The level designer is for creating the environment, the whole look and feel of the game. Creative director is like creating the aesthetic, that it should be stylized, it should be realistic. That like Witcher 3, Fortnite. Witcher 3 is a very realistic game. Fortnite is a very stylized game. The creative director looks and checks for these kind of things, that it should be up to the mark. The game producer is one who is in charge of the whole game. It's like the team lead, or one who is who is has the who have the main decision taking right. It's like game the producer, investor, or licensing team or publishing team. These are all come in the game producers. Hmm. How do they get in this industry? A lot of industries. There are a huge number of AAA gaming industry presence. If you search for just LinkedIn for how many vacancies are available in India for game development, there are a lot more than 100 of them. So, but there are few things which you should keep in mind. That is, mm, there is a thing called industry standard, where big companies generally prefer certain software, certain language, certain things over others. This have a lot of reason like money, licensing, and generally the resources are available for that, and security. These are things. But if you really want to get in this industry, you have to first of all you have to work on the standard softwares. I will tell you which are the standard softwares. Also, game development doesn't work on your degree, it's just work on your skills and experience. If you have just graduated from 12, you can be a game developer. If you have done suppose BTech with electrical engineering, you can also be a game developer. There is no restriction that your degree can stop you from not being a something. So, like I've written in this, that Maya's, Unreal Engine, ZBrush, Photoshop, Substance Painter, Houdini, these are some industry standard. Generally, people in this huge AAA companies generally prefer these softwares over free softwares like Blender, or Unity, or Game Maker Studio, or these Gadot. Okay, so that's the thing. Self-learning and teaching yourself is the best thing you can do for the game development, because generally game development companies see your skills, your project. What have you done? What actually you have built yourself? Have you actually created any game, or you are just for a degree purpose? That's why you should, if you want to get into this industry, you should start developing yourself rather than for a degree or a certification. Okay, so these are I've listed some of the good Indian companies which actually made some of the best game, I will say, from India. Dhruv Interactive, you already, some of you have heard about them. They are now owned a Bangalore-based company which have been outsourcing for the many games. Now they have been owned by Rockstar. It's become Rockstar India. Nottingham Head Games, the creator of the Razi. Razi just released last year. It's a triple A game. I I will tell you, you should play this game. This is based on Indian mythology, and it's a good game. Smash Game Studio, Lifelike Studio, Technicolor Games, and there are a lot of studios which outsource. Like You can see the last three studios: Sumo Digital, Lakshya Digital, or Technicolor. These are outsourcing companies. Lifelike Studio is the one who created the Rogue Heist. Rogue Heist is like a Counter-Strike third-person game from multiplayer. If you really want to play that game will be releasing this year. It is available on to wishlist on Steam. Okay, the industry, yes, this is a very huge industry. Uh, as for 2021, this industry is more than 180 billion, and that is a lot. If you can see that this industry is huge, already huge than whole Hollywood. That is a very big thing, this industry. The rise of the mobile gaming also pushed this industry to a next limit. I'm giving an example of Avenger Endgame. You have heard that movie, which it cost around 356 million to make, and the whole movie grossed around $3 billion. On the other hand, the GTA, you all that is a very popular game, is around the development cost of GTA 5 is around $265 million, and it already generated more than $6 billion. And you can also find that game still selling after almost nine years after its release. That game is still selling. The good thing is that Indian gaming industry is also valued around $1 billion, and it's cost around 600 something million dollars. There is also a fun fact: the whole world there are more than 280 crores gamers in as for 2020. That is a huge number. So there is a huge potential to start your career or start anything in this industry. Okay. This is just a facts and figures. I have collected these figures from Indeed.com that if you're intern, you're just a for any company as an intern, you may get up to 5,000 to 10,000 or 15,000 at most as an intern. If you're after an intern, if you are just a fresher, you may get up to 1,500 to 25,000. So if you done a college degree and you should get to internship and then to freshers, then you can earn around 25,000 to 30,000. That is, if you're 2 plus experience, that will be 30 to 50,000 or 60,000 or more than that. And even if you are more than 5 or 6 years, then you become a lead or very high post in that company. It may cost around 6 to 10 or 60,000 to 1 lakh or more than 1 lakh. That there is one thing in this industry. This is the this is the best industry if you want to get abroad, because it gives you the best chance to getting yourself abroad, because maybe India doesn't have that much potential of game in development for now, but the people who goes to abroad generally have a huge load of money, because it's actually a big industry out there. So it's the easiest way, easiest ticket for you for getting to a foreign land. Hmm. Okay, Ryan Ojha. Udyan Ojha. Okay, sorry for name. Udyan Ojha, and you have played it Android beta for the row heist. That is good. I've also tried it. I've also tried the beta version of that, and I that's a good game. Okay, so now for still now I was giving the presentation. You should like and subscribe this video, and still you can share this video. A lot of part of this session is still left. You can share this video, and also subscribe to this channel will be a big like for me. Okay. Now I have already told you about the industry, the overall outlining of this game development. Now I will switch towards the other part, the technical part. From here now I will calling more like this is our technical skills, like how you should develop. Okay, these are the some few essential software you should have known if you starting this. The first one is the game engine. What is a game engine? Hmm, no. game engine is something which combines your graphics with your programming and build it to a final thing that that the whole software which helps you in creating all those elements of the game is the game engine. Modeling software, on the other hand, is the one who is which is used to create the 3D shape, size, figures, the 3D models, texturing it, coloring it, or these. There are a few other softwares. Photoshop is also used for texturing. Adobe Audition is used for sound designing. Mixamo is a website by Adobe is used for creating animations. There are multiple softwares. So in this session, I'll try to connect to some of these models and some of these softwares, but in the later video, I will, in a hope that I will release more videos in the after this session. I'll try to teach you even more softwares and even in more details. This is just it will be the basic overview of these softwares. Hmm. Oh, okay. Game de game development for passive income, 2D flat minimalist games for Play Store. Please provide views on this. Hmm. Okay. There is one thing also for the Udyan Oja. I am telling you one thing. The Play Store is a very great place for publishing your games you have created. It is also the most crowded place for publishing. There are other places like itchy.io and itchy.io, and there are some game jams, which is more beneficial if you want to showcase yourself to more development field. Play Store is good for uploading these games, but it's still a very crowded place for your. If you think of making a game and it will be boom instant hit, I won't. I won't say it may be. It may be. There are chances, but there may be. There are a lot of, and there is a more chance that it won't. Okay, Tanish Mehta, a question from you. Where to start learning it? I've made 2 to 3 games on Unity through Unity Learn, but I don't know if there are some better alternatives to learn. Okay, there are better. Unity Learn is actually a very good learning platform if you're just trying to learn the Unity basics. Udemy have a very large amount of good Unity courses. There are also YouTube channels like Brackeys, Danny, or Thomas Rose. These uploads video on game development engine, on Unity engine. You should learn from them. Also, you can join. You can also I will be uploading few actual game development videos in the near future where I will teach you how to make games on any engine. I will prefer Unity engine because I have a hand-on experience with the Unity. I'm also switching to Unreal Engine. We have heard about the Unreal Engine. It's good for graphics, and that's all. Okay. Now coming to the engine part. I've been telling engine a lot. A game engine is a software development environment or SDE mainly for creating video game. Simple. Other variation for the other name for this is like game architecture, game framework, or game frame. People generally call this like this. Industry generally call it like game frame or game framework. You should work on this frame. It's like main function of the game engine is to include the 2D or 3D graphics with the mechanics, the animation, physics engine, artificial intelligence, the AI, enemies, sounds, so everything. It's a box where you can combine everything and have a final output. There are a lot of free game engines like Unity, Unreal, Godot, CryEngine, and there are some proprietary engines like Rage, Frostbite, and there are I don't remember Cry. There is one also engine, a very popular engine, and Trachea from Activision. So some of these engines are proprietary engines, which that you aren't allowed to use those engines because they are created by the companies and they will only used by those employees. But there are a lot of free engines So better to choose free engines over those because you aren't working in those companies. But once you're placed in a company, you have to switch your fundamental basics to that engine on which the company is working. Hmm. Similar to the game engine used for creating games, the 3D modeling softwares are generally used for creating the models, the textures, the they are how the question is how the computer created something in the 3D dimension. Computer just understand maths, and the maths is like there is a coordinate geometry in maths. Computer creates these 3D models based on triangles. The computer treated a lot of triangles and to create an actual structure. So if you can see this mouse, if you create this mouse in a 3D engine, this mouse will contain a large amount of small triangles, which will combine together to create a 3D structure in that. And after creating a structure, you can paint it like a paintbrush or something. 3D model software is a process. Modeling is a process of using software to create a three-dimensional object on it. 3D. There is one benefit of learning 3D modeling software. 3D modeling softwares are not only used in making games; they are also used in making movies, videos, TV series, or any architectural project, building, rendering, and these things. So, 3D learning software, 3D modeling software has a lot of benefit. If you are artistic or more like creative person, you should learn this. This is very easy for some extent. And there are something like Blender, SketchUp. These two are generally free kind of software where you can download it as a hobbyist. Cinema 4D, Autodesk 3DX, Max, and Maya. These some of these even cost around 80,000 rupees per year. So a general person like you and me can't afford these softwares. So I will prefer if you're a hobbyist or if you're just starting this career or starting as a 3D model designer, you should choose basic. You should choose the basic free softwares. But if you're in industry, the industry and the company will provide these all the softwares for you. You don't have to pay for it. Okay, so and then comes the programming language. JavaScript, Python, C Sharp, Lua script. There are a lot of programming language where you can make games, but the industry generally prioritizes C++ and C Sharp, and that is the reason because most of the game engine. Okay, I'm sorry, the video just have gone out. I'm sorry. I was there like most of the game engine uses this C++ and C Sharp programming language because they are the most fundamental language to learn. You can this may happen that you can create a software on JavaScript or Python. Many of the web-based games are made on JavaScript. Python is also helpful in making games. Mm. So game designer, the developer is generally have to learn the game designing language and these programming language because the developer has to work with the art, animation, sound, and everything. So they have a lot of insight of how a game should be worked, and they should learn this. The visual effects, the AI, the enemy of the game, the graphics, the audio, every field has a specific programmer. So if you love programming or if you are in a pursuit of the career of programming, you should must choose this. You should must have an insight of this because there are a lot of options in game development. Hmm. Okay, now here's the part where how you can start you have a roadmap of how you can be an indie developer. I already told you what is an indie developer. Indie developers are a small team of person or a single individual who makes games. So if you are already making games, I have seen some. of you commenting that you have made two games. If you're making that alone or a very small team, you can classify yourself as an indie developer, and that's a very good thing. So first of all, if you are at zero, if you don't have anything, first of all, learn programming. If you are yeah, trying to make a game, it should be a C sharp or a C++. Learn the maths besides behind that programming, because um, you have learned trigonometry or integration or coordinate geometry or these fundamentals of maths in class 11th or 12th. Game development is the only is the, I will say, not only, but is a it a field where you can actually use these maths techniques. So you have to learn some maths, like how will move, how will be the projectile, how will be the trajectory, how the gravity will work to simulate the physics. It is that you should learn. Pick a gaming engine like a Unity or Unreal or any one of your choice. But I would suggest, if you're a beginner, you should start with Unity engine. Learn about game mechanics, design, and art. First of all, watch a lot of tutorials if you are actually in learning this development. A lot of tutorials will help you. I Let me tell you my experience. I almost watched more than 1 year of a full year of tutorials. Then I started making games, which already I can start making game by watching tutorial and copying pasting it. But having first watching everything, every aspect, then I started, and that helps me a lot. So you should, if you are starting this, you should try that too. Mm. Learn game physics and animation, because the maths you have learned, you should apply in the game engine. That is the thing you should use in the engine. You should hit and try, just like Internet. You should draw something, you should create something, mechanics which should be bad. Your first try won't be very, you won't making a GTA on your first day. So it may take times. Hit and try, do something every day. Start developing a 2D game. Basically, 2D making a 2D game is a lot easier as compared to the 3D games, because it don't have that much in set of instruction. A 3D game has a depth in it. You have to create an environment, everything. So it's generally people are recommend to making 3D games after you have some knowledge of 2D games. AI, the artificial intelligence, how an enemy will react to how an enemy will respond to you, everything. So AI is also a very it is AI. Creating an AI in a game is more like the more further part than the basic one. Multiplayer game, creating a multiplayer game is also not easy. The networking part is not easy in general. And when you create a game, publish it on Play Store, itch.io, Steam, or anywhere you want, or publish it. Give a link to your friend, share it with your friend. Your friend will generally uh, your friends or your family will be generally be your game testers or beta testers for you. uh, Make it more bug free, and then marketing it. Like if you really want to marketing it, like marketing on social media, marketing it on any other um, okay, the light is okay, so I try to finish it. So I was at marketing. So you should market it, like sharing it on social media or any place you love. The last part, okay, it's not last part. The indie companies generally, the indie or you should generally game have a very small team in making games, but generally for a big companies there is a lot of process you have to choose from. It's like the first they have to planning everything, like building budget, audience, what audience to target and everything. So it's not very simple. Like I think I should make a game, so I should make a game. It's not like that. There are decision takers. There are a lot of people. So after that, it's the pre-production where the storyboard, storytelling, the game designer will generally work here in creating the concept, the visualization, and everything. The early stage of this game. The production is the part. The production is the part where Oh, wait a minute. I said okay. Okay, it's fine. The production is the part where the audio, visual programming, artist, and all these things created, and the basic thing. After that's the bug testing. The testing, the game tester will test, find the exploitations. Is the game too hard, easy? Is the game really good? It is fun. They find this. After that, they have a very soft launch. It is called soft launch or alpha beta release, where the marketing hype is there. People have a lot of review, pre-review, like creating the hype of that. When the game is released, it should be bug smashing session. A lot of bugs have to remove before creating the final or master release, polishing the game to its maximum. And after the post-project processing is just the maintenance part where if some bad feedback is from the from the players, they improve, try to improve that session. Tanishq Mehta, should I learn through watching random tutorials on Unity, learn YouTube, Udemy, etc., covering as much as I can, or is there something I need to cover before I need to apply for an internship? Okay, I there are two ways. First of all, if you are going by the first ways of Unity, learning it from YouTube, Udemy, or everywhere, it will take time, but it will almost cover all your concept, almost cover all your concept, because there is no boundary of how much you can learn. And the other way is doing it from a course or actual course. Like I have a few courses listed in the next slide, and these courses, if you are going by the courses and then apply for the internship will prefer these courses because these courses will teach you the point to point thing which you just needed for the internship. But if you goes through the random process, you can cover everything almost, be the indie developer to create a whole game with yourself. Um, mm, mm. This is the section for you, Tanish Mehta, and this is in this section shows that the best way to learn the game development is through online source. And I won't say this is the best method, but this is the practical method I have uh, achieved, I have gained knowledge from. Since this is the field of creativity and art, there is no actually someone who can teach you. You're your own teachers. Just it's up to you. Brackeys, awesome tools, Plankton board, Prestarts, Wabble, Unity Toots, Thomas Brush, Jimmy Vegas, or Danny. These are Psycho. These are some great YouTubers you will find online, which helps you in create, which helps you the basic fundamental or even the intermediate fundamentals of this making. Hmm. But if suppose if someone goes wants to go to this career by the other way, the college and degree ways. So if you have done BCA or BTech with ICT or CS, that will be the most preferable. These are the most preferable way to get into this technology and this industry. Okay, and I have listed some of these courses like Advanced Program in Interactive Design and Games by Mac Academy, and Game Development course by NIIT, or Unreal Game Development by Arena Animation. I will say these are some good. I have one or two friends which have joined these courses, and they have a very positive feedback from these. They actually learned what they are there for learning, and that is a good thing if you want to learn from an institution. But if you don't want to learn from institution, YouTube is the best thing. Unreal, Coursera, Udemy, Coursera, edX. These are also websites, but YouTube is the most free and fundamental way to learn. These are some of the you can have these screens where some of the coaching institutions like Maya, IIFA, or iPixo, Zika, or these institutions are there which can you can have a diploma course or what should I say, a course from there, which helps if you are going through the other way. This may helps you. BSc in gaming, BSc in animation and gaming. These are some degree courses which are generally have. People are generally doing these degree courses to also to get in this industry, but they can. But I will say that you are your best teacher, and this is the industry of creative people, and you can't they can't teach you how to be creative. They can teach you the tools and assets. The creator is your part to be. Okay, so all this video I'll try to cover all the basic things. I think people generally feel when they are starting when they have questions about the game development. And thank you for this session. Uh, you can I have a game studio called Nirvana Studio, and you can visit. Be patient, bro. Good things time to be. That is a good one. The comment right now. Notice me, senpai. You can visit me on Instagram or you can have them on my website or email ID, or I'm also on LinkedIn with this company Nirvana Studio. All these links are in descriptions. You can see. You can have these. You can follow me on this. If you have any other further queries, you can uh, you can reach me on Instagram. You can personally DM me on Instagram if you have further queries or anything you want to. Also, if you want to if you want have any questions here, the chat box is used. You can ask any question if you want. It should be a very basic to basic or very advanced one. I will try my best to answer it. Okay, the chat box is yours. You can ask. Also, there is one another thing for you. There is a thing. It is, there it. Okay. The College Baba, the one they have sponsored me to be the part of this. The College Baba have a college ambassador. This session of this theme of college ambassador, where you can be the college ambassador of whatever college you are studying in. You can have an internship certificate, have full-time job opportunities. You can connect with the corporates with rewards, goodies, or merchandise. That will be so. You can also apply for the college ambassador. The link in the description below. And these are some things the college members will generally uh, have some of the videos coming through. In the future, I'll try to upload more of the videos and more depth of how the game development will be. So, uh, so there is. So, any questions? Any question? I'm here for any question related to game development. I'm not saying any questions mean any questions. Hmm. So I still am not getting any question. I'm waiting. Isn't anybody there for any question? Okay. How to keep motivated? Uh, how to keep motivated? There are a lot of videos for motivation. How to approach game jams? Okay, that is one very good question. How to keep motivated? Do meditation. Uh, Keeping motivated in game development is a very serious thing. Everyone lose motivation at certain point of time. I also lose motivation a lot of time, but you have to keep yourself motivated because there is there is a lot of opportunity to gain. There is a lot of thing to learn. There is a lot of creative people out there. You should learn to that. This industry is not a industry where other will just treat you like a newbie or something. Everyone is equal in this industry. How to approach game jams? Good question. This one is good question. Danish Mehta. Game jam. There are a lot of game jams. You have learned about Ludum Dare. Ludum Dare is a 6 month game jam happens in 6 months, every 6 months. A lot, almost more than 10,000 of developers join there for creating a game within 2 hours on a concept given to them. Ludendor is the best place. Itch.io sometimes host game jams. And how to approach to game jam? There is no way to approach a game jam. There is just way you register for a game jam. Just a day before the game jam will occur, yeah, they will give you the details that which topic you have to be making the game. After 2 days, there will be a portal where you have to submit your game. They will check your game. They will see everything that the is the game actually good or not, or is it qualified the theme of the game jam. If you are good to go, then maybe you won some uh, ranking or some prize award. Generally, game jam have a prize award. Any good game engine for 2D game development? There are a lot of game engine for 2D game development run up. There are Buildbox is one of the good 2D game development engine. Buildbox is there, Stencil is there, Game Maker Studio is there, Gadot is there. These are all free game engine you can have to make a 2D game. And a lot of tutorial is also available for Gadot and Stencil, so you should check with that. Also, Unity and Unreal also support 2D games, but you can make it. Okay, so I don't. Is there any other questions? Mm, okay, I don't think there won't be any other questions. Okay, so thank you for attending this live session. I'm really grateful that I get this opportunity from the College Baba to be here and announce it. Oh, there are two questions. How to do the art and sound for the games? But I've already told you, art is like there are a lot of 3D or 3D modeling software. If you are a 2D artist, you want to be a 2D artist, Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator is the best place to start with 2D artist. And the sound, and there is an app, Adobe Audition or FL Studio. These are there for creating the creating the three, to, creating the audio. How, okay, any game development community in India where we can connect. There are not a lot of gaming community in India because I don't know, game is still treated as a taboo in India because that's the parental thing that if you're playing game, it should ruin your life. You should not play game. That is not something you should do. You should study on this. That's why India don't have a lot of good game development community. There are some and community on YouTube like Underdog Studio, or there is a developer called Nikhil Malenkar. These have a YouTube channel and also have a small but feasible game development community. Okay, the big question is the people like you and me see ourselves in the future because our society don't have faith. That is a thing because the society is like that because they don't treat us like we are job interns or something. What we do first, learn C Sharp or Blender or Unity document. Depends on you. There is nothing a pattern that you should learn this for, then this. There's nothing. If you want to, if you love programming, you should start with C Sharp. If you have a more creative or drawing type of minded, you should start with Blender. Or Unity document is like combining both of that thing. So Unity will come in the later part. The message is retracted. Okay, so I don't think big fan. Thank you. Okay, so now I'm ending the session. Thank you all of you for being here. You can join if you really want to contact me further. You can join me on my Instagram account. The link in the description below. Okay, thank you.